Okay, today's notes are still Chapter 8, Lesson 5. We're going to focus on problem solving. You need to be on page 640. And we're going to think our way through some problems together. And some of the problems we're just going to get started on. And you'll have to finish tomorrow as part of the independent practice. So let's go ahead and look at number 9. It says to state three numbers that are solutions to the inequality x plus 1 is equal to 5. Okay, so we can actually start by doing a little bit of guessing and checking. Now, if we have x plus 1 is less than or equal to 5, though, this equal to part is going to be very helpful. So what number plus 1 is equal to 5? I want you to go ahead and answer that for me. Okay, if you answered 4, that's correct. Okay, now we have to state three total numbers that are possible solutions. 4 is a solution because 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. Now, this less than sign gives us a clue to what some of the other numbers may be. I want you to think about two other numbers that we can replace the x with that are going to result in something less than 5. Go ahead and answer that for me, please. Okay, if you stated 3, that's definitely correct. If you said 2, that's right. 1, you could even have said 0. Or -1, or -2, or -3. And as you can see, this is actually going to go on infinitely. Okay, let's see if I can spell infinitely. Okay, it's going to go on forever. But what is not true is 5 plus 1 is not less than or equal to 5. So there's also an infinite number of wrong answers as well. All right, let's go ahead and look at this next one. It says that we're going to evaluate if x is equal to 2. Is the following inequality true or false? Please explain. So if we want to replace everything in this problem with 2, are we going to end up with a correct inequality? Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to rewrite the equation. So coming over here, we're going to write, all right, I'm going to go ahead and press pause and write it out, and then we'll come back to this. All right, I think the pen works better when you guys aren't watching. So this is the equation. And what I've done is anytime there was an x, I wrote a 2. So 112 divided by 8 plus 2 is greater than or equal to 15 plus 4 times 2 minus 7. All right, so we are going to solve this, but in order to solve this correctly, we have to remember what phrase. So what is the important phrase for order of operations? Answer that for me, please. Okay, if you said PEMDAS, you are correct. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to solve anything that's inside of parentheses, but as you can see, there are parentheses, but really those parentheses are actually a multiplication problem. So there's not like parentheses with an expression inside of it. Exponents, there are no exponents, so we don't need to do either one of those. So what we need to do first are any multiplication or division problems. So, and we have to do that from left to right. So the very first thing that we're going to encounter is 111 divided by 8. So let's go ahead and write that out. 112. I think I said 111. Apologize. So 112 divided by 8. Go ahead and solve that for me, please. All right, if you said 14, you are correct. And so 14 plus x is greater than or equal to 15 plus. Now here's our other multiplication problem. What is 4 times 2? 4 times 2. Go ahead and answer that for me, please. Okay, that is 8, and then it says minus 7. So we've all done every multiplication and division problem. Now what's left is addition and subtraction. Okay, hang on a second. This x is supposed to be a 2. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so now we just have to solve the addition and subtraction going left to right. So 14 plus 2 is what? Answer that, please. That's correct. That's 16. 16 is greater than or equal to. Now, what is 15 plus 8? I know it's real tempting to do 8 minus 7, but we have to do left to right. What is 15 plus 8? Go ahead and answer that for me, please. That's correct. That is 27. And then 7 27 minus 7 is what number? Go ahead and answer that for me. That's exactly right. That is 20. So 16 is greater than or equal to 20. Is that a true inequality? Is 16 really greater than 20? No, it is not. Okay, so for 11 it says if A is greater than B and B is greater than C, what is true about the relationship between A and C? Explain your reasoning. Okay, now I'm going to draw a number line here, and I want you to make a conclusion about whether A is greater than or less than or equal to C. So let's go ahead and draw the number line. So I'm going to pause for a second. Okay, here's a number. Here's a number line. The first thing it says that A is greater than B. So I'm going to put A on the number line. And we know that everything that goes is to the right of something is greater than something else. So if A is greater than B, that means that B has to be over here somewhere. And it doesn't matter what number it is, but whatever number it is, it's less than A, it's to the left of A. And A is greater, so A is to the right. But now it says that B is greater than C. So if B is greater than C, that means that C has to be over here somewhere. So what I want you to do is go ahead and answer this question for me by writing it down on the paper, but you're also going to type it into the text box in the question. What can you say about C and A? Is C greater than A? Is C less than A? Is C equal to A? Please explain what you think is true. Okay, I really don't want you copying down my answers on this, but I do want you to write something down. So when I check the notes, I will expect that you wrote your own sentence in your own words. But it is clear that C cannot be greater than A because A is over here on the number line, C is over there. So C has to be less than A because C is less than B and A is greater than B. So you need to have your reasoning written down here. Okay, so explain why inequalities of the form X is greater than C or X is less than C, where C is any rational number, have infinite many solutions. Now we've talked about this a few different times, but I'm going to go ahead and we're going to draw. So again, I'm going to expect you to write this in your own words, but I've drawn a couple number lines. And this number line over here on the right, it actually is showing that X is greater than C. And the second one shows a situation in which X is less than C. So if X is less than C, what are the possible solutions to that? If X is greater than C, what are the possible solutions of that? Why would those solutions be infinite? I want you to go ahead and write down your thoughts on the paper. I also want you to write your thoughts down in the question so I can kind of see that in Edpuzzle and get some ideas about what you're thinking. Why is it true that the answers are infinite? This question will be part of tomorrow's independent practice. So I'm just going to read it to you, and you'll have time tomorrow to finish this up. Analyze the relationship between the inequalities in each pair of inequalities below. Write integers that are solutions to both inequalities in each pair. So if y is greater than 4 and y is less than or equal to 6, what are possible solutions that match both of those inequalities? B, x is greater than or equal to -3 and x is less than 0. Write some possible solutions here. M is less than 5 and m is greater than 3. What are the possible solutions? R is less than. Okay, so we're going to solve this problem. It's a multi-step problem. We're going to read it several times, but we're going to start first by reading it once and trying to think about what is happening in the story. Some friends each hope to attend a festival that costs $65. To earn money, they mowed lawns. Use the inequality F plus S is greater than or equal to 65, where F is the Friday earnings and S is the Saturday earnings, to determine who earned enough money to go to the festival. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to analyze. When we read the problem, we're going to circle information that we know, and we're going to underline what the problem is asking us to find. So I'm going to go ahead and underline what the problem is asking us to find first. We're looking for who earned enough money. And the important information that we need to circle is it costs $65. And the other piece of important information is the actual chart. So we're going to circle the chart as well. Okay. All right, so now that we know where all the important information is, now we're going to go ahead and solve using our plan. So we're going to first substitute the F for Friday values. We're going to substitute the S for the Saturday values. And then we're going to determine what is true. So we have 30 plus 10. So we're doing Cody first. So Cody had $30 on Friday, $10 on Saturday. 30 plus 10, is that greater than or equal to 65? And then we're going to write out Dominic. We have 60 plus 0. He didn't do anything on that Sunday. So 60 plus 0, is that greater than or equal to 65? Amir is 45 plus 10 is greater than or equal to 65. And then Fernando is 20 plus 55 is greater than or equal to 65. Okay, so now we need to actually solve and evaluate these expressions. So go ahead and answer this for me. What is 30 plus 10? Okay, 30 plus 10 is, okay, my pen's doing weird stuff, is 40. So we're going to go ahead and do the second one. What is 60 plus 0? Go ahead and answer that for me. Okay, that's exactly right. That's 60. What is 45 plus 10? Please answer that. That is 55. And what is 20 plus 55? Answer that for me, please. Very good. That is 75. So now we're going to see which people were able to earn at least $65 in order to go to the festival. Cody did not. So we're going to cross Cody out. Dominic did not. 60 is not greater than 65 or equal to it. Amir did not. 55 is not greater than or equal to. And so the correct choice is going to be what? A, B, C, or D? Answer that for me, please. All right, the answer is only Fernando earned enough money, so the correct answer is D. $75 is definitely greater than 65. Now, how do I know my solution is correct? Well, if I think about a number line, and I have the number 65, the only answer that either equals 65 or is greater than 65 is 75. And my pen went weird again. Is 75. That's kind of 75. Okay, so basically thinking about a number line, the only one that exceeds the value of 65 is 75. That's how I know my answer is correct. All right, so we're going to stop and think about what's the most important thing that we learned about math in today's lesson. Go ahead and answer that for me now, please, and think about it seriously. If you think you don't know, go back and reread the notes and come up with something. Okay, thank you for being thoughtful about your answers. Now, tomorrow when we do our independent practice, I'm going to tell you which problems I'd like you to do on your own, and I'll read the word problems for you if needed. Thank you. Take care.